I think we have yet to see Temple of Anubis in any form of competitive play, maybe ever. I'm thinking back even the Beta 1. Did we see any Temple there?
No. I would definitely remember it, and it is the only control point map we've yet to see, and we even saw Volskaya yesterday.
Yeah, we saw Volskaya twice.
Yeah.
Not once, but twice. Well, let's just be clear. It's not like, oh, we had a one-off game of Volskaya. No. We saw Volskaya twice.
Yeah, we've seen Hanamura a couple times too, but no love for Anubis. It remains to be the first child and the hated child of the community for the most part. So we do see Ilios getting banned out by EnvyUs, which is unfortunate. EXDEE responds by taking out a couple very staple payload maps in Kings Row and Hollywood.
Yep. Interesting stuff coming out of EXDEE here with their ban strategy, Kings Row and Hollywood. So it looks like they are angling at the very least to get it to a capture point or King of the Hill map, because they are taking out payload maps left, right, and center. They have 2 more bans, so they can definitely, and the specificity, they can take out Dorado, they can take out Nambani, so they can actually force this to be a payload free game.
Yeah, and I think that might be the strategy we're seeing. I was kind of throwing a shot in the dark there earlier, saying I don't know much about this team, but it might be finally the time that we see a team take advantage of some of the more higher ranking teams' uncomfort with King of the Hill and control point maps.
I do wonder what this will do to the team's feedbacks on rule sets, though, just because of just because of the fact that teams really like playing on payload. So you have a situation where all the payload maps get banned, and it's just like, wait a second, what's going on here?
Yeah, well, with everything.
So we do have Dorado at the very least for payload, but Nepal and Lijiang, so we are guaranteed to play at least one King of the Hill map in the set.
Nice. So EnvyUs definitely doesn't want to start on King of the Hill. They take out Lijiang. So it is up to XD to choose if we're going to go to Dorado or Nepal first. But wow, both in the pool. We're headed to Nepal. I love it. I love it right away. Testing EnvyUs on something we haven't seen them on.
Indeed. Also, Hex, I think you might be on EU or something. Can't seem to invite you.
I know I'm not. There you are.
It just could be the UI being weird. All right, I got you in. We're in here. We're ready to start on Nepal, of all maps. So starting off the day with a bang, really.
Yeah, it should be one. I mean, I'm just so excited to King of the Hill. We haven't seen EnvyUs on King of the Hill yet, I don't think. I can't recall a specific time. I'll double check that, but definitely a strategy that I think teams that maybe if they think they're outmatched a little bit, just on a very basic level, that taking a team to where they're uncomfortable is the smart choice. And maybe that XD has been scrimming King of the Hill nonstop. Maybe this is the chosen one I've been looking for.
Yeah, I mean, perhaps. I mean, it's honestly the way the map strategy has gone. I'm surprised teams haven't tried to force King of the Hill a little bit more often. There's sort of been this honor code between teams like, hey, we've been screaming all week on payload. Let's just not play King of the Hill. But, some teams won't necessarily play by the rules.
Right, and especially with the way we're redoing the map drafts now, that you ban down to a pool of 3 instead of banning down to one specific map, teams can force this now. So it is a side effect of that, too. And what you were saying earlier, I wonder how teams will react. Well, with everything, a lot of them are going to like it, and a lot of them are going to hate it. It's kind of just how it goes in esports.
Absolutely. So we are getting in here on Nepal. This is the first map of the day, round of 16, EnvyUs versus XD, and we're going to get to see what EnvyUs has been potentially holding off on this entire time. Assuming my Overwatch didn't crash, which it might have done. X, you've gone silent.
Can you hear me now? You got me now?
I can hear you now.
All right. Something happened there. Yeah, my Overwatch is also spinning, so we'll see if the client's didn't crash or not. Let's give it a second. See if my toaster can actually get working here.
Yeah, right now my Overwatch is totally frozen out here. Not sure what's going on. All right, I've been kicked out of the game, as it turns out.
It wouldn't be
get back in.
Wouldn't be esports without something like this happening.
I feel like this, as far as this goes, I feel like this is more likely to happen early in the day for whatever reason. Like first game of the day or whatnot, it's like, oh, are you sure you want to spectate? It's like, yes.
It'd be funnier if it just kicked you into like a play lobby. It's like you don't want to spectate, you want to play.
Yeah, so I'm letting them know here that we do need a remake because everything just went to poop. Because we both got kicked out?
Well, luckily enough, I'm still so hyped from the bracket and the teams that I think it'll carry me through the day. So, it may take another couple minutes to get into game here, unfortunately. But, yeah, we'll be there eventually.
Indeed. So letting the teams know that we are remaking. So I'm sorry about that, guys. Overwatch had decided to like freeze and kick both of them. Usually it's not a problem if one person gets kicked out, we can be reinvited, but.
Yeah, our other spectators also froze and bugged out during the load as well. So hopefully this isn't an ongoing problem throughout today. But
yeah, hopefully, I think it was just probably the observer mode for all of that.
Yeah, we do have different streams in different languages. Also, now that I think of it, we have there's a hub post somewhere you can ask our admins in chat. But if you'd prefer to watch, or you have people who want to watch Overwatch in different languages, we've got tons of different coverages.
So we asked the teams to remake. They didn't remake. We're just gonna go into it and go from there, I suppose. So we are in game right now. This is Nepal. Gonna load that up.
Yeah, you load, then I'll load, and we'll just train on in.
Yep, so we're in, getting Hex in here. Sorry for the tech difficulties, guys. This is definitely out of our control. So we are back in game, and EnvyUs with the first cap point here, 55%. They have so far locked out EXDEE early on in this game, Hex.
Yeah, definitely. One moment here.
So taking a look at Tailspin with ult, Raz with ult. And EnvyUs, again, they just control the entire center area. It's up to EXDEE now to try and get forward. And EXDEE, they are running the double Zenyatta Genji Tracer comp, so this is a comp that has definitely proliferated throughout the meta as time has gone on, Hex.
Yeah, and we even asked IDDQD yesterday, how would you beat this? And they're like, well, we would just play the exact same composition and play it better.
Tailspin with the Dragon Blade coming out is going to take out one person with that. 3 kills overall for the EnvyUs team. They're moving in. It's going to be 4 kills and might be 5 with Symmetra. Symmetra going to go down, and that is a full team wipe for EnvyUs. And with that, they're going to take round number 1 on Nepal.
Yeah, I mean, I got in late, but there was a lot of cool stuff that I totally missed. The Symmetra on here is actually really neat to put those turrets up top to really just prevent them from ever taking that high ledge. That's rad. I hope to see it again. Hope to actually see it again.
Indeed. So, we're going on to round number 2. EnvyUs taking round 1 pretty quickly here in Nepal. Nepal, of course, our first map of this best of 3 series. EXDEE banning out most of the payloads of Force King of the Hill, but EnvyUs proving that they are very, very comfortable on King of the Hill early on in this tournament.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, though. Even if EnvyUs wins this King of the Hill, I would imagine that EXDEE strategy as the losers would be to choose the next King of the Hill map as well.
The interesting stuff meta-wise is that we're not seeing too much of a shift here. We are seeing double Zenyatas on... Well, we're seeing double Zenyatas both teams. We actually are seeing a little bit of a shift now coming out from the EXDEE side. They're only running with 1 Zenyatta. They had 2 before, so a little bit of a switch up, running with the Lucio Zenyatta now instead, and a Roadhog. Yeah, I do. We've seen Roadhog do a lot more work on King of the Hill as time has gone on.
Yeah, I like the Roadhog. It's definitely more of a distance comp and an in-your-face comp, as they do add the 76 into the composition as well.
Yeah, Battlebull is able to get a good pick on Stoop there, but Tailspin going in with 2, now 3 kills. Cool Matt with the backup in the back, and that's going to be 4 quick kills for EnvyUs, and with that, they're going to be able to take this point.
Yeah, I mean, King of the Hill tends to frighten teams just because it's not payload, but essentially it's all just about winning a team fight, too. No one's really just battling over the point and trying to get objectives. A lot of times on this map, especially, team fights happen away from the point, and then it's generally a clear take, until teams get into overtime, that is.
Yep. So, we see now Team EXDEE is trying the group back up here and get back in. This is going to be rough, though. We see EnvyUs with a lot of spam heading towards them. They have good positioning, and Tailspin and Cool Matt have been an absolute thorn in their side. Cool Matt takes out Lumberjack. That's 1 Zenyatta down the back. Here comes Dragon Blade from Tailspin. Takes out Ham Sword. Taking out Ham Sword with the sword, as it were. Cool Matt with double kill of his own. And just like that, almost everyone on the EXDEE side going to be wiped out again.
Yeah, EXDEE really struggling here, not really even trading. It's not like they're getting the bad side of a trade in fights. They're just getting annihilated in fights here. And also that teleporter is now up for EnvyUs, so if they do lose a fight, they're going to be able to reinforce very quickly.
Yep, so teleporter up for EnvyUs, as you mentioned. Bud's going to drop that down. And now, really, if you look at the EXDEE side, EXDEE only has about 1 or 2 good pushes left if they want to get through here. This is not how they wanted to start out when they had Nepal line. We do see Hamsword landing some good hits on Tailspin. Not enough to take him out, though, and Tailspin actually returning fire with shurikens, going to take him out, and Buds with that triple kill on Symmetra. I think most of that was just orbs for the most part. Combination of orbs and left click, but Bud's doing work at the side of Internet Hulk.
Yeah, I mean, I was just going to mention Internet Hulk. You know, people underestimate Symmetra's actual 1v1 ability at their own peril, and time again, we see people take a fight with her and absolutely lose, and that time 3 people made the mistake.
Yeah, and that's 3 kills again for EnvyUs, and EnvyUs is going forward.
Yeah, it's going to be so hard to push into because these Symmetra turrets, I say time and time again, even if they did 0 damage, they'd be a pain to deal with because they slow you, and then you have to waste ammunition on them to even to break
Well, this is the final push. We have Cobb with the tactical advisor. Tailspin and Soup, though, 2 kills quickly as XE tries to get to the point. They have to force overtime. They cannot back off. They have to somehow make this work. Hamsword able to take out Cool Matt. But Tailspin and Raz just being absolutely smothering right now. Overtime slipping away, and there it is. EnvyUs going to take the first map versus XD in a very dominant fashion on the Paul.
Yeah, the idea for the strategy was there, but with a lot of teams that we haven't seen before who maybe lack the practice and coordination, it just didn't work out. You can't lose 2 people before a Transcendence comes off, and that's exactly what happened in that last push.
Yep. So they're just asking how it's going there. So XD has a choice of choosing Dorado or Lijiang from the remaining map pool, as they have lost the first map here. So good stuff coming up from EnvyUs there. I think one of the biggest changes there is Tailspin really didn't play a whole lot of Genji last time we saw him. We did see him play it every now and then, but it didn't seem to be a favorite hero. But this time around, he seemed a lot more comfortable on it, X.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you have to imagine that we're going to have to see some sort of change in strategy from XD, right? I mean, they're going to go to Lijiang, we'd imagine, but what they just did on Nepal did not work out at all, and they're similar enough maps that you'd have to see some sort of composition change here.
Yeah, one would think, if nothing else. So right now we're going to wait for the XD map choice, and we'll see what they bring up.
I mean, you don't force it to King of the Hill maps and then just to go to Dorado, right? I mean, that doesn't make any sense, and it does look like we are going to Lijiang Tower.
Lijiang Tower, so I guess, maybe they didn't really like how that first King of the Hill map went down, but maybe they're thinking their fortunes will be a little bit brighter on Lijiang. Lijiang does allow for a little bit more environmental play. It's where Lucios can do more knockoffs, Roadhogs can send people to their doom, and we are getting right into it, X.
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely something that they were going for, too. The Lucio on XD was playing very far ahead and actually dove in a couple times trying to get knockoffs on the big pack side of Nepal. Unfortunately, the knockback didn't do enough, and then he was caught out and died early, and that was kind of the theme of that whole match, is players dying a little bit early in fights, so they couldn't really engage at full forces.
Yeah, no. But we'll see if they have anything in store here, but they're gonna have to do something about the Tracer of Cool Matt and the Genji of Tail, because they were playing that really aggressively and they didn't seem to have much of an answer for it, Hex.
Yeah, I mean, it's still like I've just been thinking the last couple of days, even after talking to IDDQD, is like, is there a composition that can really beat this, the double orb composition? And you have to think, like, can we get to the back line and dive it? Maybe a couple Pharah and Mercies with damage boosted rockets to take out the Zens. Maybe Roadhogs to try to pick these sticky targets. But so far, we haven't seen anyone able to really shut it down in a style different than just playing the exact same style and better. So I'm still looking for the answer. I'm not certain it exists right now.
Yeah, well, that being said, we were going to see Winston coming out this time around for Team XD, so we'll see they get a little more value off that going forward. Sides have switched for one reason or another, so XD is running out. This is going to be XD versus EnvyUs map number 2 on Lijiang. We'll see if XD can get a little bit more value this time around.
Yeah, and a Zarya. I'd have to imagine that the Zarya is probably just for maybe the ultimate use towards the end, because she's been nerfed pretty badly recently and not really in that bruiser role she used to be in.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do see 3 quick kills coming out from the EnvyUs side. Cool Matt consisting of a triple kill and all of that. So Cool Matt just going absolutely ham on Tracer in the beginning here, and he's been playing great today, Hex.
Yeah, they took out both the tanks pretty early in that fight, and now we do see a switch. They're coming off the Zenyatta completely, and they're going double Lucio. A very heavy sustain style coming out from XD as they're running double tank and double Lucio as support.
Yeah, so they have to come out and they have to make something happen soon. The double Lucio, I mean, that helps. You get a little bit more regen, a little bit more speed, but Tailspin able to take out WizKid very quickly here. Stoop takes out Hamsword. So EnvyUs with 2 quick kills, and again, this is going to really, really help them in holding the middle, X.
Yeah, you can just kind of copy-paste that phrase right now, EnvyUs with 2 quick kills. It's how every fight has started, and it essentially ends the fight before it even begins.
Indeed, so we're going to see a Dragon Blade coming up from Tailspin very soon here. Tailspin fighting off not 1 but 2 Lucios in the middle, is going to take out 1 Lucio, has the other Lucio inside, gets him as well. That is a double Lucio kill, as it were. And EnvyUs already making good progress here, and now they're 45% of the way of winning round 1 on Lijiang.
Yeah, I mean, we don't exactly know where XD's at, so we don't know what kind of marker this is, but they're running the double orb composition as well as IDDQD does, mostly based on the kills of Tailspin. It's been absolutely insane.
Yeah, so we do see the Dragon Blade is coming out here from Tailspin. No kills just yet. Does take out Reaper in the end. Stoop, Cool Man, and Res combined for 3 kills in the back. And as a result, we're going to see XD once again push back.
Yeah, they've had a hard time even getting through the doorway to even contest the point, and now it looks like EnvyUs is holding pretty far forward. They've got Tailspin in a really cool spot up here, throwing down shurikens.
Yeah, no, and this is the power of Genji. This is one of the things that people wanted nerfed, or was a common play players that, hey, nerf the fall. But Genji keeps the shuriken damage from range. Instead, a little bit less health. Symmetra prevents that from happening as a result. You see lots of Genji still in Tailspin with the pickoff on Tracer, and Tailspin and Coolman have been doing a lot of work thus far in this game.
Yeah, it kind of looks like the EnvyUs of old. Cool Matt just crushing people. He's not on, you know, McCree this time, but still the results are the same, and they look like they're not necessarily missing Esper just yet.
Well, EnvyUs now a mere 1 round away from moving on to a round of 8 where they could very well potentially be up against Mix-Up.
This actually bodes really well for them, though, because at the very least they look pretty comfortable on King of the Hill, which has been a map that we've seen come out even at the top level teams. You know, fights between Flat Earth and IDDQD as well. And IDDQD has done okay on King of the Hill, but I don't think it's a map style that they favor at the very least.
No, certainly not. So we have now, this is going to be EnvyUs rushing out for round 2, and we see now almost a reversion to old school meta stuff here. Double Lucio, double Winston, and McCree and a Reaper. So not double Reaper, but pretty close.
Pretty close.
You know, we saw this first coming out from EnvyUs, so you'd think EnvyUs would know how to deal with this.
Yeah, you know, it was a meta that came for about 2 weeks ago and lasted all of about half a tournament day, and then was able to be dealt with pretty easily by...
Look at Coolmat. Coolmat able to get 2 kills in the back. Lucio actually fell to his death from WizKid, that is. So again, we're seeing EnvyUs just out death matching the other team here and looking really, really good.
Yeah, I'm happy
in their return to Overwatch.
I'm happy for WizKid. He finally got his environmental death. He was trying to get it on the other team, but at least he did, you know, put someone off the cliff this round.
Minstrel saying speed boost bugged. I'm not sure wait, what's up with that. But taking a look here, here comes the offense of XD. XD1 mixing that. Hamsword able to take out Bud. So Hamsword, McCree doing a little bit of work here. Battle Bull with the kill. This could be what XD needs. They have 2 kills. Hamsword, though, will go down. And he's been one of the main people getting kills for XD, so I'm not sure how the rest of this is going to work out for them.
It doesn't look very good as 3 kills come down for the EnvyUs side, and even with that, the other Winston for XD runs in with a Discord Orb. A little bit of a mistake there, in my opinion.
Yeah, just a bit. So we see Lucio staying alive, just barely, trying the wall run with the Discord Orb on him. Coolmat in hot pursuit. WizKid really just struggling to stay alive. He's still alive, though, in all of this. Coolmat in hot pursuit. In fact, Coolmat getting baited, getting taken out. So WizKid being a bit of a WizKid there, staying alive.
Yeah, that was actually really phenomenal sustain over there, and he stays alive enough to get his sound barrier off.
Yeah, I thought he was going to die, though. So here comes XD, trying not to go out of the fight, but Tailspin with the Dragon Blade will take out WizKid finally, but goes down himself. So again, we see XD sort of hanging on here.
Yeah, they're making a show of it. This is the best push that they've had so far, based off the play of their Lucios, actually.
Yep, we see Merwin is still in there as Reaper, but he is going to get taken out by Coolmat. Reinforcements for EnvyUs are getting in here, and they are going to push him out. That was a nice push, though, an attempt coming out from XD. The only problem that they have now is that they really don't have much in the way of time. They have maybe 1 push left. If they lose this round, they will lose this map. If they lose this map, they will be out of the tournament unceremoniously, and EnvyUs will move on to our round of 8.
Yeah, I mean, I do respect them for changing up the compositions as much as they have, too. They're not just trying to stick to an old dog, a thing that's not working. They're making kind of smart decisions. What can we do here? It just happens to be that EnvyUs is playing on a different level than they are right now.
EnvyUs is doing pretty well. We do have the sound barrier coming out for the EnvyUs side. 3 quick kills, and make it 4, 5. A full team wipe again for EnvyUs, and that is going to end the game. There will be no overtime, and XD getting removed from the tournament in short fashion as EnvyUs coming back looking pretty strong here.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of cool, like, just the way they targeted the supports of XD there. Every time Lucio was inside, he got discorded and focused down. And then they went on to the second Lucio during that second stage as well. Discorded, focused down. So they really took out the core of the composition and then were able to clean up the rest.
Indeed. So, Interesting stuff coming up there. We're going to try and get an update on what's going on the mix-up side of the bracket because, Hex, I am incredibly excited about seeing the grand sort of rematch, if you will, of EnvyUs and Mix-Up to see what goes on there because I have no idea who would win that because Mix-Up is looking much, much stronger recently.
Yeah.
And EnvyUs is sort of an unknown quantity, though they definitely looked anything but weak in the game we just saw now.
Yeah, I mean, just because how fast everything changes, we don't really know where to put EnvyUs, but before they took a break, they were the best team in Overwatch before the beta went down, and we saw EnvyUs versus Not Enigma several times in absolute bloodbaths of matches. Never one-sided, always very close matches, and Not Enigma, now Mix-Up took some of those maps and took some of those sets as well, so this is a throwback back to Beta 1, and I'm looking forward to it if it happens.
Indeed. Just as a quick update, people are using those coupon codes on Metro, and we are up to $410. Actually, Pop It just dropping a $25 donation. Thank you very much, Pop. Pop It been a big supporter of us here. With the comment, just to stir the fires, EU greater than NA. So I think we have an IDDQD fan here, Hex.
Likely. It's very possible, but I like some good, lighthearted EU versus NA stuff. Let's keep it lighthearted, though.
Lighthearted. Clearly you don't know Twitch chat, my friend.
I think I've proved thoroughly that I have no idea about Twitch chat. I don't even know Slowpoke memes, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, the not knowing Slowpoke part, that's really on you.
I'm getting around to it, someday.
All right, so we're going to take a short break as we look to get into the round of 8. We very well could be bringing you EnvyUs versus Mix-Up, which is going to be an incredible match, should it happen, or the team that beat Mix-Up in the event of an unlikely upset. So either way, a good game will be heading out towards you very shortly. This is GosuGamers Overwatch Weekly North American Cup. I'm ZP, joined by Hex, and we'll be back in just a moment. Alrighty, and we are back to GosuGamers Overwatch Weekly North American Cup. In fact, because the other series finished so quickly, we can actually get in and watch game number 2 of Mix-Up versus On Tilt. Mix-Up, of course, are number 7 in the worldwide rankings, and they had a very, very strong showing yesterday against some of the top teams in EU, including IDD, QD. And should they win, they're going to be going on to face EnvyUs in the round of 8.
Yeah, I'm stoked to be back for more round of 16. One thing I am on tune with Twitch chat as well is I don't like breaks either. So I'm glad to be back into a game. Early matches can go quickly, like we saw, earlier there with EnvyUs. So we're back in round of 16 watching Mix-Up, and if Mix-Up wins, they will face EnvyUs in our round of 8.
Indeed. So, one thing of note here, we see teams definitely more willing to try and get into King of the Hill today. I mean, this is another Lijiang game.
Yeah, we missed the map draft, but back in familiar territory already as we're on King of the Hill and map draft. I love King of the Hill, so I could not be happier that we're starting the day with a couple Koth maps.
Yeah, I mean, the one interesting thing is that, so in terms of runtime for Overwatch, right? King of the Hill maps actually go by much, much quicker than payload maps do. So you have this thing where if you get a bunch of King of the Hill maps played over the course of a tournament, your tournament just flies by.
Yeah.
So taking a look at the roster for Mix-Up, for those who might just be joining, we have Esper on Zenyatta, Harblu on the Symmetra, Seagull on the Genji, Milo on Lucio, Piero on a second Zenyatta, and Nigma rounding things out on the Tracer, so no surprise there, seeing more of the double Zenyatta comp. And X, what are you seeing for the On Tilt side?
Some players that I've run into on pubs before. Brad Expert's going to play on their Mercy. Dump Truck will play a Mei to this delight of everyone. Technic will play either Lucio, MTG on McCree, Chronic on Diva, and Linko on a second McCree.
So this is interesting. Double McCree versus the Tracer Genji setup. I mean, it makes sense, but right now it's not working out for them. Seagull with first blood of the game, Piero following up right after. 3, now 4 kills for Mix-Up, and they're looking just as dominant right now as EnvyUs was a moment ago in their set.
Yeah, and we already see some switch-ups happening on the side. We see Linko actually off of that McCree, goes onto Tracer. They are transitioning into the double orb composition themselves.
Yep, so, I mean, this is one thing about today we're seeing, and this would actually be a first. We saw the meta sort of stay the same this long from week to week on the double orb. Maybe it means that double Zenyatta is a little bit too powerful, but we're seeing double Zenyatas at both teams. Linko able to take out Seagull, and that was a nice pick for Linko. And now perhaps a little bit of life for the On Tilt side. That's 2 kills now. Dump Truck getting both Zenyatas back. Esper and Piero going to bite it. Dump Truck with the triple kill. And as a result, we're going to see some life from On Tilt as they're going to take control of this point.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens with this composition. You get 1 kill, you get 2, you get 3, then you have all the momentum in your favor. Now, what King of the Hill does, it kind of stalls out that momentum as you're not pushing forward, you're not pressuring spawns, you're kind of waiting for the next fight. So this composition, not as powerful as it is on payload, but that's a great way to start off from On Tilt.
Yeah, On Tilt, honestly, doing pretty good here, all things considered, and they did lose map 1, but they're making it at least a little bit competitive on Lijiang here as they go forward. Dump Trucker now looking for poke, will eat the Discord orb. That's going to put him at a big disadvantage to Seagull, and Seagull on the prowl. He is going to have to get out of there. Seagull will just execute him without mercy. Both teams are still at full strength. Poke going back and forth both sides. Enigma looking to get in, is going to eat poke. Esper going to eat some poke as well. Linko, though, takes out Seagull in the back. Esper making Linko pay with a kill, at least 5v5. Here comes the Dragon Blade from Dump Truck. Whiff, and he's going to get taken out by Harblu in the back. So not able to make the Dragon Blade connect, and Harblu, good Symmetra position coming out from him. And look at the kills coming down. Esper with the double kill, and now just like that, Mix-Up is going to retake the point X.
What Mix-Up had going for them in that fight, even if they had lost, they had their teleporter up and already in place, so they were going to be able to reinforce if they lost that fight. Now what happened too is On Tilt Symmetra died towards the end of that fight, unable to get the teleporter down in time. So now it's going to have to be a regroup. I imagine that Symmetra is going to try to drop her teleporter as well. We're going to have Symmetras on both sides. It's going to be a long fight.
It will be a long fight. So taking a look at this here. Mix-Up now firmly in the lead again on round 1. Here comes the other team coming in here. They are going in. Seagull, though, going to take out Dump Truck. And On Tilt in a little bit of trouble. Dump Truck has been doing most of their work thus far. A little bit back and forth as both teams fight it off here, but Mix-Up definitely in the driver's seat. Linko going to get taken out, and now On Tilt gonna have to back up and regroup a little bit here, Hex.
Yeah, what's so cool about the King of the Hill map and this composition on it is the Symmetra just littering the point with these turrets too. So when you come in, you not only do you have to fight, but you're fighting at a disadvantage. It's almost like 6v7 with all these turrets pre-set up.
Yeah, I mean, the turrets do a lot of work. Give us some extra time to do that, and you have to kill them. And think of it as like adding tankiness to your team because it's just a distraction. That being said, here comes Seagull. Seagull with the Dragon Blade. Gonna take out Linko right away. Not satisfied just that. Was looking for some extra. Will back out just to be on the safe side. But Harblue takes out Technic. Piero with the pick of his own. That's 3 kills now for Mix-Up. And On Tilt has to get out of here.
Well, they can't really get out.
They really can't at this point because it's overtime. Either way, they're doomed. They stay in the fight, they die. They don't stay in the fight, they lose the round.
Yeah, just kind of tough sledding there. I mean, both teams popped the Transcendence, but they did lose a player before that Transcendence came off. And that's something that we saw earlier in the King of the Hill 2. Losing players before the Transcendence comes off, always going to be tough. Going into that fight, a little underpowered there. And one more round. I think did Mix-Up win the first map? You know, we're coming into this a little late.
Mix-Up did win the first map. So Mix-Up now, if Mix-Up wins this round, they will go on to face EnvyUs in our round of 8.
Yeah, maybe they'll face EnvyUs on Nepal and Lijiang. It seems to be the theme of the day, but we're one step away from that rematch of Beta 1 excellence.
Indeed. That being said, I like some of the life we saw out of On Tilt there. I do think Mix-Up was playing a little bit more coordinated, and Mix-Up definitely got more out of their support kills there. We saw Harblue and Esper pick up a lot more kills than Bread Expert, MTG, and Chronic did, and that very well might have been the difference between the two teams there.
Yep.
So, we see both teams going around opposite sides. They're going to meet in the middle, and we're just going to see what On Tilt can do here to try and change things in their favor.
Yeah, I mean, might be see a little different outcome since they're running this composition from the start rather than switching to it halfway through, and they start off with an early kill. 2 kills.
2 early kills. Dump Truck able to take out Esper, so I think that's both, or one Zenyatta down for Mix-Up. Seagull, though, striking right back, is able to take out MTG. Harblue takes out Technic, so things getting even out here on both sides. Both teams suffering pretty heavy casualties. Dump Truck doing work, Harblue doing work. And really, neither team with a firm advantage here, but Harblue making things really awkward for Dump Truck. He's going to go out, and Harblue really a very just oppressive Symmetra in the series so far.
Yeah, the Symmetra play in the last week or so has been phenomenal. It used to be a very utility hero. It's just like, fine, we'll run a Symmetra because we want a teleporter, but now people are really utilizing her kit to its full potential.
Yep, so Mix-Up will control the middle point here going forward. The teleporter is up for Harblue. It's going to really help them secure this. Linko takes out Milo in all this. So Linko and Seagull getting a kill each, both teams at 5 players, but the teleporter down. Mix-Up's going to be able to reinforce pretty easily here.
That's a super aggressive teleporter too, but it's in a kind of safe spot. I know that sounds a little bit confusing, but it's hard for the other team to get over there.
Linko was able to take out both Seagull and Piero, so now we have On Tilt threatening. Harmony Orb is down. Here comes the Dragon Blade from Dump Truck. Dump Truck on the prowl is going to take out Harblue with the aid of Linko. Linko on a triple kill himself, and Dragon Blade actually not so much needed there because Linko killing a whole bunch of people. Enigma actually blinking off. That was not a accident. He just wanted to reset with the rest of his team, so that was calculated.
Yeah, it's actually really smart to blink off rather than suiciding into your team. You don't want to feed ultimate charge to your opponents.
Yeah, so just like that, On Tilt again showing a similar life that they did in round 1, but they're going to need to hold on to this for quite a while, Hex. Otherwise, of course, if they lose this round, they lose the map, and Mix-Up will move on. So you go, Mix-Up is coming in now. Seagull and Enigma are in. Enigma eats the Discord Orb, but will take out Dump Truck. And now Dragon Blade at the right for Seagull. He is poking like crazy. Will take out the Zenyatta as well. So Mix-Up now threatening. Harblue also picking up a kill. So just lots of confusion from all parties here on Mix-Up. Enigma with the double kill. Milo killing out Linko. So really, Mix-Up able to take control of the middle again, and now On Tilt find themselves in a very unfavorable position.
Yeah, Chronic did a really cool thing there. He waited on his teleporter until a couple of his teammates died. He was able to get it down, but the fight was so one-sided afterwards, it ended up being taken out afterwards. But good patience there on the Symmetra for On Tilt.
Yeah, so Mix-Up now in the driver's seat. Really, Mix-Up, or only On Tilt has maybe 1 to 2 pushes left here. They don't have that much time. It's a little bit misleading. It's like, oh, 65%. That's 2 pushes at the most. So they need to make something happen now, preferably, if they're going to stay in this game.
Yeah, they do have, even on ultimates, though, so we could see a lot of the Q being pressed here momentarily, as both teams are pretty set, ready to go with on both Zenyatta's and support ult on the other side.
Here's a problem, is that On Tilt got bullied out a little bit here. Now this might be their last push. They lost a lot of valuable time on going in. You know, I guess quality or quantity, the Transcendence is down. The Pulse Bomb will whiff. We do see the Dragon Blade coming up from Dump Truck, and he picks up 2 kills very quickly for On Tilt. And this is looking good for them, but just like I say that, it's Seagull picking up 2 kills of his own. Enigma with the cleanup, and Mix-Up turns that fight to their favor after a less than favorable beginning. Good turnaround by Mix-Up, and now I do believe it's going to be game.
Yeah, that sound barrier is going to seal it. Just really nice patience on Mix-Up's Transcend there, saving it towards the end, keeping everyone alive to really finish that fight off. And we're going to see Mix-Up versus EnvyUs in the round of 8. What used to be a finals, we're going to see in the round of 8.
And that's just how stacked our bracket is today, that we see these two phenomenal teams, Mix-Up and EnvyUs, playing so early in the tournament. I am incredibly excited to see what the teams have in store for us.
Yeah, and then, you know, even that, whoever they have to face after that, the winner of that, I mean, it goes on and on today with they're going to face the next stack team and the next stack team and the next stack team. I'm going to take a look at the bracket here, actually.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much all day long. I mean, you look at here, whoever wins between Mix-Up and EnvyUs could very well be going on to face IDDQD, and then IDDQD could potentially be going on to face Cloud9. So it is just a ridiculous day today where really good matchups across the entire spectrum.
Yeah, we only have like half of our bracket done, and it's going to be IDDQD moving on. Envy is going to face Mix-Up. Cloud9 is going to play the winner of Quake Fortress versus, and then Flat Earth already beat Ventus, and they take on the winner of Prime and Help. It's just already, this is insane. But I think we have the best one coming up in the round of 8 for sure. Old school EnvyUs versus Mix-Up.
It's something that is just going to be really exciting to watch. Prize pool for Matt Torino is up to $424. Thank you very much, everyone who's donating. We're going to take a quick break as we set up for the round of 8. Both teams are done with their matches, so it shouldn't be too long. We'll be back in about 4 minutes. This is the GosuGamers Overwatch Weekly North American Cup, and just about every match today is going to be awesome. You won't want to miss it. Stay tuned.